I got some of my results back, and there's a lot. I have this paper, I have these papers, I have these papers, I have pictures. There's a lot. And I'm trying to understand some of it. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm a nurse, been a nurse for 29 years. Jason's a nurse anesthetist, and some of these tests, we don't know what they are. So we're looking them up, or I'm looking them up. But when I glance at most of them, everything looks really good. And what I was going to talk about today, and just to keep it short and sweet, because there's a lot here. And I would also like to say that there's going to be a lot more later. I won't get all of the results until the test is complete. The test runs, this part of the test runs for a year, but it's a year from when the last person starts. So I am number 63. They're still trying to find people that meet the criteria to do the study. So it might drag on longer than a year, I guess is my point with that. The one thing I wanted to talk about today is insulin. So they did a fasting insulin level on me. I've had several done already. And everybody, I feel like at this point in the world, knows what a hemoglobin A1C is. A hemoglobin A1C is a great little test. They usually do them on us when we go in for our checkups. I know for me, they do them when we go in through employee health once a year. But the problem with the hemoglobin A1C is, okay, so a fasting blood sugar just tells you what your blood sugar is at that moment in time. That's it. It doesn't really tell you very much. A hemoglobin A1C tells you what your blood sugar has been over the last 12 weeks, right? So you think, okay, well, this tells me how my blood sugar, and that's good. That is a good information. You need to have it done. It's an important test. But what it doesn't tell you is, what did your body do to make your blood sugar like that? Because your pancreas is trying to, your body always wants to stay within tight parameters, right? So like your pH of your blood has tight parameters, and if it gets too high or too low, your body freaks out. Sodium, magnesium, everything in your body, there's a range, and your body tries very hard to keep it within that range. That also applies for your blood sugar, okay? So if you're eating a lot of carbohydrates or processed food or things that are high in fructose or glucose, if your blood sugar goes up, your pancreas is like, oh, okay, I gotta help you. So it sends out insulin. So it sends out whatever the amount of insulin is needed to get your blood sugar back within the realm of what's comfortable within your body, right? So when you get a hemoglobin A1C, it tells you what your blood sugar is. It doesn't tell you if your pancreas is a rock star or not. So if your pancreas is a rock star and you keep eating all this garbage, and your pancreas is like, don't worry, I got you, and it keeps getting you, and it's shooting out tons and tons and tons of insulin. Well, that's great. Your blood sugar was great. But insulin's also a hormone, and it doesn't just operate in a vacuum with blood sugar. It also has other implications in your body. And if you have chronically high levels of insulin, you're going to have increased fat storage, and you're going to become resistant to that insulin. Just like you would if you took an antibiotic all the time, the antibiotic doesn't work anymore. Well, that's what happens with insulin. So you have high levels of insulin all the time. If you're eating a diet high in sugar, your body is going to become mute to it. It's not going to care. It's not going to work anymore. So then over time, you go through a span of about 10 to 15 years of metabolic syndrome or prediabetes. And if you don't do anything about it, you don't get that insulin level down, you want it down below, the reference range here, they say is below 24.9. So get it down below that, and you can do that with your diet. Then you won't go on to develop type 2 diabetes. But if that insulin level stays high all the time, your body, it's just that insulin that you're shooting out, it starts to not be as effective as it used to be. And then you go on to become a type 2 diabetic. Okay, you can correct that, you can change that. It's not a life sentence. And there are lots of medicines that will treat it, but if you change your diet, most of the time, you can put it in remission and it's gone, and you don't even need medicine. You just change what you eat. So this particular diet that I follow, which is meat, vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, berries for fruit, nuts, and dairy, okay? My insulin level right now is 4.4. It's been as low as 1.7, but I think that was too low for me, and I think that was during a period of stress when my mother had her knee replacement and she was staying with us, and I don't think I was eating as well as I should have been. I think I wasn't eating very much. But, so 4.4, okay, that's without medication. that's just who I am. My A1C is 4.9, which means through diet, I'm keeping pretty well control of my insulin and my blood sugar. Also, insulin is an indication of increased fat storage if you have high levels and increased inflammation in your body. So if you have increased inflammation to your body, it's been on the news lately. You see, it's a marker for almost every autoimmune. It's a marker for almost every chronic disease. So you want to keep those numbers down. So how you keep those numbers down is try not to eat processed food. I tell my mom, try to eat the food that God made. That's how it's simple, right? You go around the outside of the grocery store. Don't go to the inside. Don't go to the barcodes. Don't buy things in a box. Don't buy things in a bag. I mean, obviously some things are in boxes and bags on the outside of the grocery store, but you know what I'm saying. If it wasn't made in a lab, if it was made on a farm, you can probably eat it. If it wasn't, I wouldn't eat it. And just try to keep those things in mind when you make decisions about your food, because your food is the most important decision that you make every day. So I'm going to look up some more of these lab tests because there's a lot, and I'm going to keep looking at it. I've been submitting my blood work to them every day. I've been doing that. I even took it with me when I went to Alaska, and I carried it through, and we're doing it. So this is kind of exciting, and I'm excited to see what else I learn. I won't really get a full panel of labs done again until December, but to be honest with you, it's probably going to take me that long to understand them all. So anyway, thanks for listening, and make good choices when you pick your food.